Hello and welcome back to P&K Podcast. I know it's been a while, but we're back again, and we're your hosts tonight, Parker and Kyler, as it is P&K. We never have guests, but I'm gonna let Kyler go ahead and take it off with the lead and story for tonight. That's disgusting. Disgusting.
All
Let
right.
me spell it out.
So I got a fun fact about the British and the French when they're fighting in America. So this is up in like upstate New York. I don't remember the fort's name. I think it's Fort William. But the French were attacking the British forts, and the British were losing horribly. Like they're dying day by day by fucking, you know, getting shot in the fucking face and diseases and all that garbage.
No, it's because it's the Brits.
But the French, like it was, they knew they were gonna lose. So the French were like, hey, we're allied with these Native Americans. We can't control them. Unless you want a brutal death, you should surrender, and we can let you go, and you can walk out of here. And the Britons were like, oh yeah, sounds good to me, yeah. And as they were walking out,
They said it.
the
just
Native
like that.
Americans were like, what the fuck is this pussy shit? We ain't collect no scouts, so they boiled one, got the rest, and they're like, hey, wait a minute. There's like 5 or 6 scalps. This isn't enough. So they go to their graves. It's been dying in battle like a couple hours ago.
And dug
Dig
them
them up, scalp them. Some took bites out of them, but they didn't realize most of those guys died from disease. And
So
that
they all got
entire
sick?
Native American tribe was wiped out because of that.
My Native American brothers. Whoop whoop. So fun fact, my great grandmother was actually either my great grandmother or I think it was my great. She was a Cherokee Native American. Great fun fact. My grandpa's told me a story before. His
Cherokees were
uh,
brutal. I
his
got a fun
grandmother
fact about
would be
Cherokees.
my great grandmother. Yeah, so my great grandmother was full Cherokee. It was like I can't remember I can't remember why he used the term. Yeah, your great grandmother was a Native American queen or something like that, or
What?
he used the term
Chieftain?
Indian, but
I don't know.
queen. Yeah, she was like full-blooded Cherokee, and my great grandfather married her, and they had, you know, kids, and so eventually it came down to me. I don't know what that was part Native American that would make me. Do I have resemblance at all? Any? No, but technically it's there. Now something I wanted to bring up was
Wait, wait,
you.
wait. Wait.
Yeah.
I got a fun fact about the Cherokee.
All right.
So, while white settlers were going through the shithole of the plains, so Kansas and a little bit of Colorado, what the Cherokee would do was, at night when they were sleeping, they would steal their horses and food and water. And they'd run away with it. So they'd wake up, have no idea where to go, and they'd just start walking while the Cherokee would tail them. They would make sure they could see him. And they would just walk and walk and walk and wait till they starved or died from dehydration.
And they already took everything, so why would they just make sure they die?
I don't know. They were just brutal.
Well, I mean, they had some really good tactics. They just didn't have the technology. I mean, imagine going out in the woods, pilot, with a bow and arrow and spears, and you hear the loud "whoa, bam!" and your fucking brother just all you see is, and you're like, you can imagine the shock. I mean,
Oh,
like
another
imagine
misconception
nowadays you're
about
like
them
fighting in
too.
a fucking like gun battle. Laser beam just goes through somebody. I'd
Yeah,
shit
that
myself.
was. They're brave. But another misconception about them was like, oh,
What's a
they had such
misconception?
cool names. But they really didn't. Like, you did something and that was your name. So, like, you could have been fucking named Dog Fart. Or, like, Shit Ass. the rest of your life. Your dog fucking shit ass coming up on you.
Alright. Yeah, I know this person, since we're around the British and Native American topic. Every time I try to play a song, like, what's that song? It's called Song 2. I don't know who it's by. Who's that song by? You know who I'm talking. You know what song I'm talking about. By a British guy. And every time I turn it on the radio, everyone with this guy, he's like, turn this off. I do not like listening to British people's music. I don't know why, but he refuses to listen to British people's music.
They make good music, man.
I'm looking up the song right now. By Blur. BLUR.
Oh, yeah, I know that song.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I like this song.
Yeah. It's a good song. I like it, but he's like, every time I play it, he's like, turn this off. But like, he don't even tell me. He'll just like either turn the radio down or he'll fucking press skip like immediately. If it's any like he'll like wait till they talk and then like, oh, skip. But so what? Something you put in our notes before we went on this podcast a couple days ago. You put Bigfoot on here, and I wanted to ask.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so you know how I was diving into conspiracy theory? I got one that
like
isn't too absurd. And it's a cool
like the
idea.
one, like the UFO one in the Antarctica. That one was pretty absurd. I don't even
know. This one is like, it's not, I don't believe it, but it's like, it's kind of like the mountains are dead trees. Kind of like that. Like, it's a cool, like, I wish, but I don't know. It's the theory is that Neanderthals slowly evolved into Bigfoot.
That would be cool. But does that mean you're saying you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
Well,
there's also another theory, like he's an interdimensional being.
I've heard of that one a lot. Alright, I'm gonna look up what area is Bigfoot located?
I mean, they're everywhere. Like over in Florida, they got the swamp ape. It's considered a Bigfoot, I think. Is there like a Middle Eastern Bigfoot?
I don't know. Alright, so another news. So we were scrolling through the great TikTok the other day, and a couple months ago, and we discovered somebody. I think their videos are top
you take it away.
This
You're
guy,
the connoisseur here.
It takes a certain kind of humor to watch them. I was showing her my girlfriend, and she was gagging at the video. I mean, they're pretty gross, you know, but they're funny if you like look at them a certain way that I look at them. So this guy's it's called Slob Talk, all right?
No, his actual name is King Fart Ass Ripper or something. King
Fart Ass Ripper, Glutinous Stewart, stuff like that. Well, King Fart Ass Ripper, he makes eating videos also. I don't like his farting videos. I can't bear through them. But videos where he shines. And this dude, you'll have to look him up on TikTok. He grabs like the most like a cheeseburger.
It's like the stereotypical American. That's how I see him.
Like a stereotypical trucker American. He's wearing like a
the dumbass stereotype of everyone's fat. That's him. He's the only one.
Gray white beater. It has stains on it. He'll be leaned back in a fucking plastic chair at Wendy's. There's a certain video I'm thinking of here. He stacks like 8 burgers. It's still in wrappers. It's how he talks. Oh yeah, I got these 8 fucking double cheeseburgers from fucking Wendy's. I'm about to fucking shove them in my goddamn gut. I got the fucking mayonnaise to go on top of them, and then he'll start opening them. And he'll fucking, before everybody, he has the fucking squirt mayonnaise. So he'll sit there, and then it just gets everywhere. It's falling on him. Like he's like, I got fucking bacon bitch in my chest here, ha! And then he'll get some donuts, and he'll put the mayo on the donut. He puts them on everything.
He puts on everything. He put fucking like, didn't he have like chili cheese fries?
Yeah, dude, no. One of the worst things I've ever seen him eat is he got basically a bag of fries, cooked them, got a can of baked beans, dumped it on the fries, and then dumped a thing of mayo on top of it, and ate all of it. And it was everywhere. And I mean, you might think this is the most disgusting thing you've ever heard in real life, but funny. I think it is hilarious.
It's so gross.
Now, it's disgusting, but it's funny, and
It's
that's what makes it funny. But he's like he's your average, like not your average American, but like your stereotypical trucker
like
American.
fat,
You know,
dumb American.
fat, dumb, grease stained shirt trucker is what he like.
Oh,
If you ever,
his facial hair. That's what makes him.
how it's never grown out and it's never shaved. It's
Yeah,
always
but
like
it's just patchy and
lazy.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's patchy and it's never cut the same length. This dude does this in public. Like this isn't something he just does at his house.
I know
And he
he's fucking eating like donuts in the Walmart while
and
shopping.
then yeah, he like grabs him off the shelf. He has like a ice cream cup in front of him, and he dips the chocolate donut in the ice cream.
Oh
And
my,
he eats it while
it's so,
walking through his store, and he doesn't. He's like sitting there talking to the camera, like.
it,
So he's
I
like
love when he
grabbing my
looks around, making sure no one's looking at.
and dude, I don't understand how that guy does it without getting like. And he does some funny lines. Like there's one where he's like, "Ah, oh, I farted on my roommate's doorknob, ha!" And his laugh is just
It's
hysterical.
disgusting.
It's always just ha
Yeah, ha
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 ha. Ha. Not even like that. Just ha ha ha.
ha.
He is he is like a role model to young men. If I had to give him any words
Oh,
to
I know.
describe. Like
It's like, that was that fucking
I
embrace
couldn't imagine.
masculinity.
Yeah, that's
That's
what.
the people they put in those companies.
Yeah, and I think 100%. There's nothing wrong as long as you live a normal lifestyle, eating however you want. You can go out there and eat 27 double
Oh,
cheeseburgers from
fuck
fucking
that guy.
Sonic every day. But as long as you live your life happy and you do what you want by the end of the day, do whatever you want. Now, do I suggest it? Hell no. Do not go eat 20 double cheeseburgers, bacon double cheeseburgers from Sonic with mayo on top of them every day. You're probably going to die in about 2 years' time if you do that every single day. But if that's what you want to do, be my guest. I just do not suggest it because just, that feeling after you eat fast food? You just feel like crap. Have you ever had that feeling?
No. I
Well,
don't eat fast food much.
or like a greasy feeling. You know what I'm saying? Or like you just feel
Yeah,
like
like you're
bloated.
full and I was like,
Dude, I wonder how that guy feels.
I feel like he gets off to it.
I don't understand how. I don't know how to explain. So anyway, let's move on from slob talk. I could talk about this guy for hours, and it's just boring conversation about his nasty to videos of I got fucking bacon bits on my test. Where my beers at? And he'll grab a beer while sitting like in a parking lot in his car, and chug a beer while
Okay,
eating.
oh, you're getting lost. You're getting lost in songs. What is this great filter theory you're talking about?
So the great filter theory summed up. I'm sure anyone listening to this probably heard about it. So the great filter theory is a theory that there's something blocking everything in every life form in space. I do believe in aliens, pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a theory that there's a great filter that blocks all life from exceeding technologically and past this point. And it's why whenever we look out into the universe with our telescopes and everything, why we don't see life, why we don't see space stations, right? If there is other life out there, they got to have some form of space station or some kind of form of life within space. They wouldn't just have a couple spaceships flying around. They're going to have like a whole colony, right? So why can't we see it? And that's what the great filter theory is. It's saying there's something stopping civilizations from the beginning of time from going past this certain point. And now let's say it's a staircase. So let's say staircase 1 is primate, staircase 20 is the filter. So we could be at staircase 15, we could be at staircase 19, we could be hitting the filters while we're not going any further, and we could end in civilization in 5 years, or we could be on stair 12. So there's no clue what stair we could be on towards the Great Filter, but if the theory's true, then something's blocking all civilizations, and it makes sense in my opinion, because why, when we look out in space, we can see for galaxies, can we not see any other life? We see
You
planets
don't know
that
what
can
I kind of
hold
believe?
life,
Like, I don't
what?
doubt.
That we're the furthest of like
No,
ahead in
I
the universe.
feel dimensions.
What do you mean? What
Like,
am
I
I?
feel like we have 30. Okay. How many dimensions are there?
I have no idea.
Some say there's infinite. I'm pretty sure some people say there's infinite. But if there is, then
Are
who
you
knows? What
are
if there
you
is a
talking
fucking
about?
alien right next to me, just in another dimension I can't see?
Are you talking about like? So there's a theory that whenever you come up with a decision, right, and it could be like to hang out with you, like just let's just say I came up with a decision, 5, 6, 7 years ago before I started playing with you guys on Xbox. Do I want to go find new friends? Do I want to go hang out and play with my friends from school that knows other online people? I chose one of them options, right?
Mm-hmm.
I chose which one to do, which you know which one to chose
Oh, are
because
you talking
obviously
about
we
the
talked.
multiverse?
Yes.
No, I'm not talking
So
about that.
you're not talking about like another dimension
I'm
of
talking about, like, yeah,
your
literally
other
another
self
dimension where
chose
there's
that
something right next to
path.
us, but we can't see it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean that theory is pretty cool. I mean, it may. I don't know. I haven't done too much research into it. And so about the Great Filter. I mean, because we've scanned the skies for decades, and there's been total radio silence. We've sent out, um, messages and radio waves into space, and we've had so much human effort to make contact with an intelligent alien life form, and there's been no response. It's been dead silent for since we were able to now, and we've made zero that we're aware of. Now, the CIA has released files that were released like a year ago that say that
They're
trace the
releasing more
crew
and more.
of They keep releasing them, but UFOs and shit. And I've actually never read through all of them because that would take me hours to get through them. That'd be a hole that I've been avoiding because I know I'd spend hours reading for no reason. And I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff in there that we can make a whole season of episodes on because I mean, it's a lot. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there just like myself. I'd rather listen to someone talk about it than have to go read it myself because it's probably about 17 pages of boring shit, and there's about
Yeah.
that one good paragraph in there that you're going to like read and read and read for. But I'm gonna end up doing that here soon, I think, because the more I think about like the Great Filter theory,
I got a
drag.
video for you.
Well, we'll talk
Like, you
about
know
that.
how, like, most alien conspiracy theories, like, there's no facts, there's no documented proof, there's nothing.
Oh.
This guy, I think it's Dr. Green or Dr. Green, he had a testimony about it, and it is, like, the best 5 minutes, because he gives names, he gives documents, he gives evidence, he gives videos, he gives pictures, and it all just links together. It's perfect. I'll share that video with you later.
Okay. And so another thing, there's a lot of theories in space, and one of them is there's other life forms, but we're the most intelligent life form, which would really suck. In all honesty, like that would suck. I would like before I die for us to like make contact with another alien. They might not come here. I might never see what they are, but I'd like us to make contact. I think it'd be so just magnificent to see and finally be proving to everybody that there is other life within space. Because I mean, it's just I do not believe that there isn't. Like it's just so huge to think there's nothing else out there. Why would that we're the only things in the universe? And I could talk about this for hours. I
Dude,
mean,
I still love my personal theory.
there are multiple planets that we have that there's like you can't say 100%, but we'll say there's a 99 point
Well, I
nine
mean,
nine nine
all
nine
it
nine
takes
nine
is
nine nine
like
nine
a
nine nine
gram of life. That's all we need.
Yeah, and they're like, I've even heard them say I can't remember the planet's name. It's like Pixie Locks or something. I can't remember exactly what they named it. And they basically said like there's a 100% chance there's life in this universe. It has the same exact I'm on this planet. It has the same exact environment as us. It has about the same water to tree ratio. I think it has more trees, more land than we do even. And it can hold life 100%. We can see the green on the planet, but we cannot prove that we're not seeing, like something through like a filter, basically. We're not seeing something through like a broken glass kind of thing,
I
because we
mean,
haven't been
we
able
just
to
gotta
be
get
there,
advanced
take
enough to go to
samples.
Europa. Europa
And
has water on it.
I know for a fact there's something out there, and I wish, you know, that. And people say all the time, they're like, I've heard people say that my age. I always roll my eyes at it, but they're always like, we were born too late to explore the Earth, and too soon to explore space. And I'm like, yeah, technically, quote unquote, you are, but I
Not
mean,
really.
not. I mean, you do it. You're just not doing it the way you think. You're not in a spaceship exploring space like you're not, in Star Trek, But and I mean, trust me, that stuff's badass. I mean, it'd be amazing to just be able to do that for a living, but it's not plausible now, and it probably won't be for another, hundreds of years. But we're still in a very, in my opinion, interesting time in history. I mean, you don't think as it interesting because you see it every day and you're like, whatever. But it's just in the past 20 years, or we'll go to 30. Just think about the technological advances we've had. And just think like computers, phones, and stuff like that. Like 30 years ago, we could not sit here and talk over a app that
Yeah, we would
requires no
never know each
service,
other.
no minutes, and nothing. It costs me nothing but a Wi-Fi bill, and I can sit here, Pilot, and I can talk to you from the first of the month all the way to the end of the month, 24 hours a day, and it will cost me no extra on my Wi-Fi bill as long as I'm connected to it. Versus 30 years ago, I mean, not possible. 20 years ago, not possible. And now you have minutes that would come in, but this isn't a Wi-Fi. This isn't nothing like that. There's no Bluetooth. I mean, when was Bluetooth created? I don't know the exact date, but it's not, it's not the oldest thing in the world, It's like, what, 12 years old? When was Bluetooth invented? Bluetooth was invented in year 2000. So it made 23 years old. Finally. So, and that
Man,
was
it kind
just
of
a
fucking blows
Bluetooth
still.
wireless voice headset. So that's not, anything like my Bluetooth watch to my phone. I have a watch that can do everything my phone can in a smaller screen, a smaller tablet.
Mm.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not what you'd want for, just absolutely crazy stuff. Like when people say we're born in a boring time because they're thinking like, well, we're not inventing, a spaceship that can go 27 light
Well,
years per
it's
hour.
just all because of fucking movies and science fiction.
Don't get me wrong. I love science fiction, and I think they have. I would love for us to create something like that, but it's not plausible. It's not going to happen within the next 5 years. We haven't even made it to Mars yet, and that's the closest planet to us, and it's a 2-year journey with the technology we have now. So, just to
I
think,
seen
well,
I seen something where like we could get there in 2 months with a nuclear powered ship.
nuclear power is insane. Did I just break my phone charger? Are you fucking kidding me? It fell off my desk and I reached back to turn the heater off and I broke the fucking plug-in for it. It like bent.
Yeah, thermonuclear propulsion could cut time travel or travel time to
I
Mars
just
to 3 months.
Are you fucking kidding me? It just broke off in my phone.
Like completely?
Pause the podcast. I gotta fix this.
Alright. And we're back.
Alright, we're back, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulty in the pause. My phone fell off my desk and my charger port, what plugs in, completely snapped off inside of my phone. So it's currently like 9:30 at night. So like I couldn't go. If I had to go get another charger, I'd have to leave like right now. So that's why I paused it. So because I need the phone to wake me up for work in the morning. For my lord. So anyway, but to finish up the top about the Great Filter Theory, we really went off track here, and I think personally, just think about how widely available Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and a cell phone was 20 years ago. It's nowhere as widely available as it is now. You know, if I told back in, let's say, 2007, when did that first iPhone come out? Whenever the first iPhone came out, imagine someone walking up to you, let's just say you're a grown adult, and they're like, "Yeah, I bought my 7-year-old her first iPhone, and it just came out. Or I just bought my 7-year-old that iPhone." Versus nowadays, I mean, if you're 12 years old and you don't have a phone in school, kids probably like look at you like, "Why don't you have a phone?" You know? And I didn't get my first phone. I was in like
Yeah, no. Shouldn't get your
eighth
first phone
grade.
till you're like fucking 15.
I was like 12 or 13 when I got my first phone. I was like 12.
I got a
So
tablet.
I got my first phone. I think I got when I was 10, but it was like a keyboard slide-up phone, and it
See,
didn't
that's
have
fine.
text. It was just like because my sisters had one, and I was like 7 or 8, and I wanted one, so they gave me this broken one they found in there. So, but and I don't know, like just think of how readily available it is now. Like if my phone, let's say my phone blew up right now, tomorrow I could go into a store and buy a new phone, or a used one for like $200, like an iPhone 8. You know,
What's your point though?
my point is like, well, away from the great filter theory, that people need to realize that we have made a lot of advancements in the past 20 years. It's just not stuff you really see, because it's not like you wake up tomorrow morning and just flying cars, you know? Like, it takes steps. It's just like
Well, I mean,
whenever someone's appearance has
on the
changed, you
grand
know?
scheme of things, I understand because like you gotta look at it like a Minecraft world, right? That bowl that we've spent fucking weeks in, on the true scale, is nothing.
Oh, I know.
It's barely anything.
We've done virtually nothing on, like, a huge scale, you know? But, I mean, if you look at it like, let's say, in the past 100 years, technology is crazy different. In the past 20 years, it's really different and readily available. Because, like, when the first phones came out, the first iPhones, like, it was not as available for people to buy them as it is today. Is what I'm trying to get at here. That the technology, because, like, the technology to get to the moon is less than it is to, like, power your iPhone. The technology we use in the computers to get to the moon is all compact enough now to fit into, like, a phone and a computer. When they had like the hundreds of computers, it's all compact enough to fit in like one computer now. So just in that time frame, you know, we've advanced that much. Is what I'm getting at.
It also
Overall,
makes me question, why haven't we gone back to the moon?
there's actually been 12 people to ever go to the moon, I think. And the reason we don't ever go back unless it's a paid for mission is because there's nothing there at all. It's a wasted trip of money and time, and it's, you know, it's not the safest thing to do. And there's no reason for us to go. I mean, unless we were just getting rocks to study.
I mean, I
So
say we
we
start
never went
mining. We
back.
should see what's in the fucking what's in there.
Uh,
We don't
If
know what's down there.
dude, if
That's another
NASA,
theory.
if
Hollow
NASA,
moon theory.
I've heard the hollow moon theory. If NASA had the fucking budget our military had, or even like half of what the military had, we would be able to do so much. I
Well, if
wish,
NASA was just a private company and not a government
like
branch.
Elon Musk, SpaceX, it's a private company, and they do crazy stuff, like more advanced stuff than NASA, because they're not a government.
Yeah, they're not restricted.
And I think that's great, personally. I I brought up a topic from government to my girlfriend the other day. I think it was Thomas Jefferson. When he became president, he abolished the system of, because when we used to vote for president back before Thomas Jefferson, first place would become president, second place would become vice president. And I was thinking, that's a very good system to follow. Now, hear me out, 'cause you're probably like, that sounds terrible. Well, look, so anytime someone gets into office, whenever you're reading that ballot, you're reading the big name Biden. Yeah, it says Harris on there, but you're thinking Joe Biden. You're thinking Donald Trump. You're not thinking Trump and Pence, Mike. You know, you're thinking Trump or Biden, right? Now, if you're thinking about second place, you're going to really be thinking, because I was just going to say Biden, and then you're going to have Trump. So you're going to be thinking about second place. Who's making the big decisions? Who's getting first place? And the good thing about the second place, you always have two people from two different parties putting their opinions and everything. So it's not one party dictating over the other, and it's less division, in my opinion, because both parties or two different parties will always be in, and it will also help abolish the two-party system, because we were never meant to be a two-party system country, and we've been slowly and just going towards a two-party system because it's Democratic Republic. They don't care about anything else. 95% of the time, the main two things they're going to
my poor
promote and
independent
stream on
boys.
services, yeah, like it never brings up independent or anything
Fucking
else.
Bernie Sanders only independent. Wasn't Bernie Sanders independent?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And we need to go back to a multiple party system. Because, I mean, yeah, there are other people who run for, they're not Democratic or Republic. They run, but they never get streamed as much, and they're not talked as much, and they're not put out there as much as Republican and Democrat. It's pushed to be a two-party system. Even though that's what we need to steer away from. That's what we're supposed to steer away from.
Well, that leads into, like, media controls everything. Well, government controls media, media controls people.
Exactly. But I think it'd be great. Thomas Jefferson really is an L piece of crap for taking away that system.
L piece of crap.
L piece of fucking shit. Because, dude, like, I don't know. I just feel like
Thomas Jefferson
that
sucked.
Yeah.
He's a
That
horrible person.
system would have been a great system to follow throughout time. Because you'd always have two different parties in office, and you'd always have two different parties' opinions of power. It wouldn't always just be a Democratic opinion, it wouldn't always be a Republican opinion, it wouldn't always be an independent opinion, it wouldn't always be a socialistic opinion. It would always be two different opinions. I mean, unless two Democrats or two Republicans got first and second, which it could easily be that way. You know what I'm saying? But majority of the time, you can roll out with two different parties. Now, sometimes, you probably get two parties, but you can roll out as two different parties sometimes. And that might not even be Democratic and Republican. It could be two separate parties in total. And I think that's what would be great to get away from the two-party system. But let's move on, because we've really theoried off from the great filter to technology and our advances to the government. And, it's just kind of what makes it interesting, it's never always the same thing. But, so, we have a couple more topics to talk about. I'm going to let Pilot take over these next couple. Because one of them, two of them, three, okay, all three of them he knows more than me about. You can choose Pilot, count 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. I think we should hold off on the Russian combat group by Americans, unless that's what you want to talk about. But
No, I want to do the 6-Day War.
6-Day War?
Have you ever heard of 6-Day War?
You mentioned it the other night.
Alright, well, I'll go off the Wikipedia page. This was a very small conflict. The 6-Day War, or the setback in 1967, or the June War, also known as the 1967 Arab-Israeli War, or Third Arab-Israeli War, was fought between Israel and the coalition of Arab states, so Egypt, Syria, and Jordan, from the 5th to the 10th of June. Escalated hostilities broke out amid poor relations between Israeli and Arab forces following the 1949 armistice agreements, which were signed at the first end of the First Arab-Israeli War. Earlier in 1956, regional tensions over the Straits of Tiran escalated in what became known as the Suez Crisis. That is another rabbit hole I want to go down one day.
Okay.
When Israel invaded Egypt over the Egyptian closure of maritime passageways to Israeli shipping, ultimately resulting in the reopening of Stratus Tiran to Israel, as well as a deployment of the United Nations Emergency Force along the Egypt-Israeli border. In the months prior to the outbreak, tensions became dangerously heightened. Israel, how to say that? I don't know how to say that word. Retarded? Rhetoric?
I'm not reading. point as you, so I have no idea.
Yo, help me out. I feel stupid. Rhetoric?
Hold on. R-E-I-T-E.
I-
Rhetoric. I'd say rhetoric. Rhetoricated?
Whatever.
Rhetoricated.
It's post 1956 position that another Egyptian closure of the Straits of Tiran to Israeli shipping would be defined as a casus belli. Let me find the interesting part here.
You know, Pilot, when we get done with this, I want to talk about my love for this country. And
Your what?
my love for the country of America, the United States of America. You'll find out why.
Amen, brother. I can't wait.
You'll see why whenever we get on that topic. You're going to laugh.
So no, I thought this was interesting because it was one country going against four or three. Sorry. Because like Israel used to be a really fucking tough country back then. Let me see. Egypt massed approximately 100,000 of its 160,000 troops in Sinai, including all 7 of its divisions. 4 infantry, 2 armored, and 1 mechanized. 4 independent infantry brigades on 4 independent armored brigades. Over a third of these soldiers were veterans from Egypt's continuing intervention into the North Yemen civil war, and another third was reservists. These forces had 950 tanks, 1,100 APCs, and more than 1,000 artillery pieces. Okay. Syria's army had a total length of 75,000 and was deployed along the border of Israel. Professor David W. Lesh wrote that one would be hard-pressed to find a military less prepared for a war with a clearly superior foe, since Syria's army had been decimated in the months and years prior to this war due to purges, fracturings, uprisings within the armed forces. Now, Israeli was outnumbered by a fuck ton, but they still went for it.
Hey, there's some bad men, alright? They don't play games.
I'll just get to the toll here. Let me find it. I'll read the conclusion. By Duchenne, Israel had completed its final offensive in the Golan Heights, and a ceasefire was signed the day after. Israel had seized the Gaza Strip, the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank of the Jordan River, including East Jerusalem, that's what word, and Golan Heights. About 1 million Arabs were placed under Israelis' direct control in the newly captured territories. Israeli strategic depth grew to 300 kilometers in the south, 60 in the east, and 20 of extremely rugged terrain in the north. A security asset would prove to be useful in the Yom Kippur War 6 years later. Casualties. Between 776 and 983 Israelis were killed and 4,517 wounded. 15 Israelis were captured. Arab casualties were far greater, between 9,008 and 15,000. Egyptian soldiers were listed as killed or missing in action. And an additional 4,338 were injured. Jordan? People from Jordan. Losses was estimated 700, with another 2,500 wounded. The Syrians were estimated to have 1,000, between 2,500 killed in action, 300 injuries, and 591 captured. There you go.
Brutal. Very brutal.
War that went right under the fucking radar.
So before we go into the next topic, I'm assuming you're going to talk about Pizzagate.
Pizza what?
No, so before we go into that, I would like to mention that I think it is amazing that me as a red-blooded, red, white, and blue American,
Yeehaw!
I can go online right now, and I could right now buy 500 rounds of 308 Winchester in a military can for
For
like
how much?
$350,
Fucking damn.
and it is delivered to my front door. I don't even have to go anywhere. It just comes straight to 74 cents per round, and it will come straight to my front. I mean, there's a lot more options than this. This is just the one I'm looking at right now. But I mean, dude, I love being. I can do like I don't I do own guns. I own a good bit of guns and all, and I buy all my ammo online. It's cheaper, it's easier, and as long as you have the time to wait for it, it's better. I do most of my ammo shopping online just because you get your better deals there. As long as you do a big enough order, you get free shipping, you get a good deal. Like most of my orders try to make them over $100 because after like $120 you get free shipping. So as long as they're over like $100, I'll order online. That's usually only about 4 boxes of like 20 rounds, so it's not really that much. But like, can I go do that if I'm a Canadian? No. I'm a European? No. Like, as a country,
Okay, alright, enough of this. I'm not. I'm done
we
fucking
will
flexing,
never,
right?
we will never be invaded because of people like me who buy that shit online. Because
I'm a hero.
online shoppers are gonna rule this fucking world
Yeah.
by their arrow online. Dude, I love it.
Alright, well, did you have anything else to talk about?
That's just what I wanted to mention.
Dude, I want to talk about Pizzagate.
Well, we could go ahead and, say good night for tonight.
One more thing, one more thing,
Let's
one
too
more, one more,
scared to talk about Pizzagate.
one more.
Go ahead.
We have El Chapo's son in the thumbnail. We don't talk about him.
I don't, I don't know much to say about him. I know he got arrested, and the cartel. I'm sure everyone who's already not living under a rock knows that El Chapo's son was arrested. He, the cartel was like, "You ain't gonna arrest that MFer," and they went to war with the Mexican
No, the
army.
whole
Now
thing
I
was
didn't know
like
who's winning. I mean,
they had inside men that were supposed to stop it and they didn't. So it is all out war. Like they're blocking the streets. No more planes coming in and out.
because they didn't do their job, homie.
You
Uh
supporting them?
oh.
You supporting these cartels?
Hey, El Chapo
Hey,
hit me
hire
up,
me,
dog.
man.
I won't let that shit slide.
Okay.
Got that cartel blood in me.
Shut the
Chop
fuck.
his head off with the machete.
Shut the fuck up.
Alright, El Chapo, hit me up, dog. Like, that dude runs that prison he's in. You can't tell me he don't.
Definitely.
That prison, he runs it. Like, he probably does better inside of prison than he did outside of
I
prison.
don't think
Like, he
he's in
probably has
prison yet.
no. I think he was. Like, I'm pretty sure he is.
No, because last footage I seen was like they're trying to take him off in the plane to get him out of the city. They're like
No, not
lighting the
El
fucking
Chapo.
plane up.
I'm talking about El Chapo. He's been in prison. I don't think
Oh,
took him
El
out.
Chapo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah, yeah,
runs
yeah.
it. Prison. That motherfucker runs that shit. I mean, he's probably safer in prison than he was out of prison. Like,
The videos are crazy.
they are.
Like they got the attack helicopter and they got the fucking news helicopter. A bunch of guys with AKs in them, shooting at the attack helicopter.
I mean, I wish we could attach the videos to the end of our podcast, but I don't know if Pilot has the technological brain to do that.
I'm not fucking 90. I know how. I just don't want to download them.
He still uses a fax machine every
Yep.
night.
I still got a flip phone.
We don't know. I can't wait till y'all get to see my picture I drew.
I gotta cut some of the mayo.
Oh,
Because it's
man.
too big. You can still see, like, the logo.
Fucking mayonnaise on my... Anyway.
Mayonnaise.
Alright, guys. What time we at, Kyle?
45 minutes.
45, that's a perfect cut, everybody. So we're gonna call it off for tonight. We'll hopefully be back next week or the next. We'll see. We gotta find stuff to talk about.
Fucking take another 3 or 2 months. I don't remember the last
3
time.
months off. So you're on 3 months.
Yes, we work hard here.
We're working very hard trying to find
Yeah.
topics. We're all hard.
I think we should do the JFK one next. I'll fucking...
We were supposed to do that like 2 months ago.
I know. I'll try to get my shit back on that.
Alright, we should just done pizza day. Anyway.
Shut the... I don't want to get fucking popped.
Alright, everybody. Good night.